You want to support Roland Martin Unfiltered? Be sure to join our Bring the Funk fan club. Every dollar that you give to us supports our daily digital show. There's only one daily digital show out here that keeps it black and keep it real as Roland Martin Unfiltered. By going to RolandMartinUnfiltered.com, you can make this possible. Hey folks, welcome to Roland Martin Unfiltered, broadcasting live from the National Underground Railroad Freedom Center here in Cincinnati, Ohio, where Ford Cares, they're holding their Men of Courage and Men of Change initiative. I'll tell you more about that later. Of course, this is an unbelievable museum that if you have a chance to come visit, you really need to, because it is a powerful, powerful place. We broadcast here before, so always glad to be back here. Folks, let's talk politics. Congresswoman Rashida Tlaib, she was denied entry into Israel along with Congresswoman Ilhan Omar by Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu after Donald Trump said they should not be allowed to come into the country. Well, she then requested a humanitarian bid that was granted for her to visit her 90-year-old grandmother, but then she said absolutely not. She did not want to go under the oppressive conditions imposed by the state of Israel. This has been a contentious issue. Democrats have been highly critical of Donald Trump and Israel for denying them entry. In fact, AIPAC, the largest Jewish lobbying organization in America, they also criticize the move as well. Now, this is a huge issue here. She was going to go see her grandmother on the West Bank during a 4-day trip next week. But then she said absolutely not. She will not go there because of what Israel is doing, the conditions they're placing on her, and so many others. That is a huge problem that we're seeing all across, again, in the political world. And the Democrats continue to say that Donald Trump is wrong for inserting himself into Israeli politics, and Benjamin Netanyahu is also wrong for listening to Donald Trump on this. We'll talk to Kelly Bethea. She's one of my communications specialists. She joins us on our panel. And Kelly, I got to ask you, from a political standpoint, this standout that we're seeing here, you have Donald Trump who desperately wants to attack the squad. He wants to keep going after them and make them a flashpoint. But when you have AIPAC who says that he was wrong and Netanyahu was wrong, this looks like it's backfiring on Donald Trump.
I'm surprised that at this point something is actually backfiring on Donald Trump, especially when it comes to something like this. This is supposed to be a personal issue regarding Congressman Tlaib, and now it's a situation where it's an international conflict almost with an ally. It's absolutely ridiculous, and it's gotten to the point where, you know, she can't just see her grandmother because of somebody being petty. Quite frankly, it's just absurd.
And not only that, I mean, what you're dealing with here is, first and foremost, this is Israel refusing entry to members of Congress. This is not the first time. They also previously refused entry to Congressman Diggs. In fact, he represented portions of the district that Congresswoman Tlaib currently represents. That was in South Africa, actually, not Israel, I'm sorry, South Africa denied him entry. And so we have seen this from other countries. And so what is Israel saying? Do they want to compare themselves to the racist apartheid regime of South Africa?
Well, it looks that way, but not necessarily regarding South Africa, but they're trying to align themselves with Trump because Trump is the president of the United States. We are an ally of Israel. That's what it's looking like so far, especially with President, I can't pronounce his name correctly, Netanyahu, correct?
Netanyahu.
So he's the white ring equivalent in Israel, and this move by him was actually praised with his base, just like Trump going after Tlaib here is getting praise from his base. So they're just pretty much in line with each other. They're just kind of acting buddy-buddy, but it's still, again, just absurd because this is supposed to be a personal issue regarding Tlaib and her seeing her family, but now it's become an international political conflict because of xenophobia, frankly.
Avis Jones-DeWeaver, again, what you're seeing here, you're seeing Netanyahu closely aligned with Donald Trump, doing this at his behest. And what it is showing, it is showing the pettiness of Donald Trump. It is showing how ridiculous he is. And I guess he thought he was currying favor with folks like AIPAC, but they've even criticized the denial of entry of Omar as well as Tlaib, but allowing other members of Congress to actually visit.
Absolutely. I mean, the reality is he's a very small man. He's small. He's small. He really has no adult characteristics about him whatsoever. And what's also interesting is that Netanyahu seems to be his lapdog. It's interesting. I don't understand. I see why they get along so well, because both of them are criminals. I really don't understand why Netanyahu isn't in jail yet. I mean, wasn't he recently convicted of something? I don't understand what's going on in Israel.
Actually, he was. I mean, first of all, him and his wife are facing charges there. He was not convicted.
Oh, okay. Well, you know, it's very interesting, though, that both of them seem to have, as was mentioned before, this right-wing, I would argue, very racist tilt. And so Netanyahu is also at the point where he's about to go up for re-election. It's a very controversial election. And let's also say that there is a very strong right-wing faction within Israel that is very oppressive, very racist, and I think they resonate very well with both Netanyahu and Donald Trump. In fact, I've read that Donald Trump is more popular in Israel than he is here in the United States. And so it is really interesting here that you have a country that claims to be this beacon of democracy in the quote-unquote Middle East. But instead, they are showing very repressive behavior. And unfortunately, it's not unlike the repressive behavior at a much more heightened level that they show against Palestinians each and every day.
Here was a tweet that Rashida Tlaib sent out 4 hours ago, quoting Archbishop Desmond Tutu of South Africa. Quote, "I am not interested in picking up crumbs of compassion thrown from the table of someone who considers himself my master. I want the full menu of rights."
Mm-hmm. Yep. And she's exactly right. I mean, to sit here and say one day, no, you're not even allowed to come into this country, even though we claim to be a democratic country, and then to only backtrack. Let's just be very real. The only reason why they backtracked at all was because of the international condemnation they were receiving in every direction that you can imagine, including, for example, as was mentioned, AIPAC here in the United States, which is no bastion of liberal beliefs, let me tell you. And so it was very interesting to see that they were embarrassed into halfway doing the right thing. But she was exactly right to say, you know, this is an example, basically, of the dehumanizing ways in which Palestinians are forced to contort to the whims of the Israeli government, and she refused to bend to that. And I think one thing that they did not anticipate that we're now seeing is quite to the contrary of what they probably wanted. Her cause is getting even more attention than it ever would have otherwise in terms of coverage via the mainstream media.
Folks, back to our Roland Mark Unfiltered video in just one moment. All right, folks, Luxe Jazz is the experience of a lifetime, delivering top-notch music in an upscale destination. The weekend-long event is held at the Omnia Day Club Los Cabos, which is nestled on the Sea of Cortez in the celebrity playground of Los Cabos, Mexico. The Luxe Jazz experience offers the ultimate getaway for discerning jazz aficionados by pairing an upscale international destination with luxury accommodations, fine hot cuisine, top-shelf libations, breathtaking golf, exhilarating spa, health and wellness options, and much more, while showcasing some of the biggest names in entertainment. The second annual Luxe Jazz experience continues to build upon its success and heritage with Jazzing Around Los Cabos, a celebratory expansion of accomplishing its goal of sharing all the finest the destination has to offer, including daytime excursions and mini concerts, including the Spirit of Jazz Gospel Brunch and Jazz Sunset Cruise. Confirmed guests, comedian actor Mark Curry, Gerald Albright, Alex Bouman, Raul Madon, Incognito, Pieces of a Dream, Kirk Whalum, Average White Band, Donnie McClurkin, Shalea, Roy Ayers, Tom Brown, Ronnie Laws, and Ernest Quarles. Man, that's a hell of a lineup. For more information, visit the website at lifeluxejazz.com. It's lifeluxejazz.com. Also, we'll be broadcasting Roland Martin Unfiltered from Los Cabos the Thursday and Friday. And so you definitely want to be in the house, folks. It is an amazing experience. I can't wait for it all to happen. So go to lifeluxejazz.com to sign up today. Now back to your Roland Martin Unfiltered video.